All right, guys, so we're here at the regional here in Arlington. This is November 5th. We got Dash here, who took first place. Little sneak peek here with the L-Star. Yeah, actually took the event, surprised a ton of people, made a ton of people super excited. So, so tell us, what were your matchups? And, I mean, you went undefeated, right? So, yeah.
So, I had a very wide matchup spread. I played almost every deck. I played Melga, I played Crossheart twice, I played Dark Nightmon, I played another OTK deck. Lots of matchups. I did not play against Minerva. I did not play against Masse, which could be one of this deck's worst matchups. I did not play against Alpha, but that one's okay as well. The reason that I chose this deck is because I really didn't like the idea of playing a stack building deck or Crossheart in this format. I felt that if I did that, I was basically rolling the dice with my chances at winning the tournament. Eventually, I would brick, you know? And this deck has a lot of tools to unbrick, as well as just an absolutely loaded security that is really good against the format.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead and look at what you got running here. So a couple of really interesting techs. Bit of a glare, but we'll try to get it in there.
Let's talk about the 7-cost option suite first, because that's kind of what makes this more unique. So we've got Kakaitis Breath here, and Plasma Decadra Launcher, 6 copies total. These are sort of the most powerful security bombs right now. On deletion deleting things is not always that great in this format because of Crossheart, because decks have deletion protection like Alphamon. So these cards make it very difficult for OTK to deal with you. Typically bouncing a big sack is just as good, if not better, than killing it. We've got the usual fly bullets. They're very good, so that you often hard to play them from your hand for 7. And then we've got sort of a lot of 1-ups here. Some people may think that these are weird choices. Happy I would maybe consider cutting. It's the only one that I don't feel great about. But Javol Schwarmer lets you deal with wide boards without needing to be able to play Def X-Mon. Trump Sword is fantastic against Def X-Mon. It's really good against Melga. It's basically a fly bullet against Melga. It's just very, very good. 3 Nailbone, of course. This is kind of the combo core of the deck. This is not really a combo version of Beelstarmon, though. We are not looking to rush our opponent with like a bunch of Ginkaku promotes. We are looking to play a very Rookie Rush style aggro deck. So to that end, we have here 5 of the play cost blocking and memory choking rookies. These are really important. Gazimon makes it very difficult for your OTK opponents to develop cards like memory boosts, which otherwise would be very good against you as development plays. Psychmon is fantastic against Crossheart, and this matchup would be really bad without it. It's the only thing that lets you survive their insane late game. We've also got Gabumon, Engine for Eismon Scatter Mode. I won't talk too much about these. These are pretty core to the deck. Sukaimon's an interesting little choice. I might take it out in the end, but I chose to play it because you can put a Devimon on top of it, and now your blocker is capable of stealing turn or making your opponent's life just even a little bit harder. We've got the only real choices, in my opinion, for blue Tamers here. The only other one I would consider would be 2-cost Matashita, but we've got 2 Kyoshiro and 1 Sora and Matt. In the case that we have both Tamers out, this lets us gain a little more memory than just 3 Kyoshiros would, which is nice for our own development. It also lets us play Happy Bullet Showering. Kyoshiro, great memory setter for decks that do not really have one. So yeah, to that end, that's most of the deck. Then we have Calling, which really is just fantastic. This is the reason this deck ticks. Redundancy on your Def X-Mons, redundancy on everything. And I guess I'll mention Def X-Mon. This card's broken. I think it's the best card in the game right now. Whenever I have arguments with people regularly in Discord about how good this card is, and I think this card's obnoxious, but I will continue to play it in basically every deck as long as it's legal. So it's very, very powerful. We've also got one last thing I want to talk about. So we've got Ginkaku Promote for Rush, but we've got these Sistermon Blancs. These are effectively your Eismon Scatter Modes when you don't draw Eismon Scatter Mode. One of the big challenges of this deck is it is not brick immune, as you might guess. I've got a lot of 7-cost options here. This card really helps with that. Puts the cards we don't want away and gets us 2 more cards. It really helps us set up those good scenarios. It was fantastic tonight. I would not cut them. I would even consider going 4. Lastly, we've got the cute Ogremon inclusion. He won me a game. Everybody loves him. He's funny looking.
That's awesome. Absolutely. Now, those Blancs, I like, when you were laying everything out, and I saw those Blancs, and I was like, what on earth? And then, like, when you're explaining it, I'm like, oh my God, you're exactly right. That is incredible. What's your opinion of Calling going to 1? Do you think the deck will still be okay?
This is going to hurt Beelstarmon a lot. Calling is one of the best cards in the deck. The concession you can make after they cut it is by adding the, I think it's starter deck Drachmon that returns a 1-cost option so that you can recycle the 1 calling you do have, but even then you only have 1 to see. Part of the reason this deck is so good is because calling is insane redundancy. You get Beelstars back to play options. You get Death X Mons back because Death X is balanced. You get back your rookies and champions if you didn't manage to see more than 1 on your first stack. It's really good. It will hurt the deck a lot, this going to 1. Maybe... I don't know if they'll replace it with something or if we'll get an alternative. As of now, we don't have one, so this deck will get significantly worse after the
Right. Yeah, I noticed you're not playing the Doberman. I usually play Doberman in my build because of calling, so maybe that might be a replacement. We'll just have to wait and see how the deck develops. But hey, congratulations. Thank you so much for doing this deck profile, showing people, that we can break the mold and not play what everyone else is playing and still win regionals.
Totally, yeah. Have fun, Digimon players. Play what you want to play.